It's the 1st of May and I'm back with my airdrop farming results for the month of April, the fourth part of the series where I present you how much I made through my airdrop activities, which I also present you on a daily basis here on this channel. And I can spoiler you right now, it was the most successful month of this year, and that's why I don't want to waste any time and show you the exact results. Worth mentioning is that these results came together in a month where we saw red numbers all over as we see them currently as well. So Bitcoin is down, Ethereum is down, both over 5, over 6%, altcoins are down even more. But the altcoin, or especially airdrop farming, was still lucrative and will also be still lucrative in the upcoming few months. So it's still more rewarding than yield farming, but if you could put these two puzzle pieces together and combine yield farming with airdrop farming on platforms like, for example, Aperture Finance, this is what I think gets you the best results currently. So let's jump into my Excel sheet where you can see the results from the previous months. The most successful month as of right now is still January with a airdrop valuation of roughly 5,000 US dollars at the time of recording my video on the 1st of February. So my first airdrop for the month of April, those are in no particular order, was the meme coin airdrop for my Solana Mobile 2 purchase, in this case Cats in a Dog's World. I received roughly 40,000 tokens. Those were worth roughly 75 US dollars at launch. The price shot up. I think at the peak it was at around 200, 250 US dollars. That's where I sold the majority of my positions, still sitting on around 20% of those tokens. Next one for this month was definitely the biggest one, which is the wormhole airdrop. I got this airdrop on 7 different wallets. Got an allocation of overall 11,001 tokens, which was at the value of launch at around 15 to 20,000 US dollars. Depends on with which price you calculated. In the peak, it was at around 1 US dollar 60, currently worth around 6,600 US dollars. I'm still holding this whole position. Now you might want to ask why. It would have been a better decision to sell it, of course, in the beginning. But I think there's a high likelihood that once they release their staking, that if you stake your wormhole tokens, you will also receive the Monad airdrop, which could be even bigger than the wormhole airdrop here in this case. That's why I decided to hold my position here. Next up on today's list is also in the Solana ecosystem, which is Jupiter. I got this one for being on the leaderboard for the Solana Mobile 2. This was worth 200 US dollars. I sold the whole position once I received the airdrop. So another nice payday for the Solana Mobile 2 purchase here in this case. Then we continue with Nibiru, which is a chain in the Cosmos ecosystem. Here in this case, I grinded actively for their Twitter social tasks. And as it is with all these testnet and social engagement airdrops, they are not really worth doing them, at least for me. That's why I will skip them completely in the future and just focus on passive staking airdrops where capital is involved, because they seem to be way more lucrative. Here in this case, I got 60 tokens at launch. They were worth roughly 50 US dollars, currently just around 20 US dollars. Then we continue with one in the Solana ecosystem, which is Parcel. Here I received roughly 1,000 tokens. I also just provided liquidity here, did no trades or anything else. This was valued at roughly 600 US dollars at launch. Again, depends on which price you calculated. And currently it's roughly 420 US dollars. I also held on to my position here in this case because it just launched in bad market conditions. And I think once the RWA narrative takes off, Parcel will ride this wave as well. Then we have a Bitcoin layer 2 airdrop, in this case Merlin, or the Merl token. I received 50% of my allocation this month, which were worth 700 US dollars roughly at launch, and currently around 307 US dollars also for just staking some assets on the network. Also holding on to my position here because I think Merlin can do pretty well in the upcoming few months and few years, even if they are very bad at handling the withdrawals right now. So I received many questions regarding ETH unstaking, Huhu unstaking, and all the other assets. And I think they are just very bad at communicating things regarding this. So hopefully your asset should be withdrawable in the upcoming few days, whatever asset you deposited on this chain. Then we have another Bitcoin layer 2 airdrop, in this case B2 Network. There we were able to claim our funds and also our mining rig NFTs. I sold all my NFTs which I got, which was basically one ASIC mining NFT, and 14 GPU NFTs, and I received roughly 2,000 US dollars from them. So B2 Network was more rewarding than Merlin in this case, but I also have to mention that B2 Network was massively referral based. That's why those results are probably not comparable with someone who has no referrals. And the last one on the list for April is the Camino airdrop, which happened yesterday. This was, I think, the most disappointing one from this list because I farmed for Camino since November. I received roughly 900 tokens here in this case, which were valued at launch at around 110 US dollars. This was massively sold off yesterday, and the airdrop is just worth around 40 US dollars as of right now. This was also for liquidity provision. I'm still holding on to my tokens. I'm not really sure what I will do with them right now because staking is not really worth it. So let's see, maybe I will just sell them once the price rises, once we get in a real bull run. So all in all, if we add these numbers up, the month of April was quite successful in terms of airdrop money. We had a valuation at launch at 17,000 US dollars. So if I would have sold off my airdrops immediately after launch, I would have basically gotten almost double the amount of what my airdrops are worth right now. But I still think most of these tokens have at least some utility for future airdrops or will rise in value again once the market turns around. So I received roughly 10,000 US dollars as of right now for those airdrop activities, which were mainly passive by just staking funds on a network or in a protocol. And the only two active ones, Wormhole in this case here, was the most rewarding, and Nibiru, where I probably spent most of my time, was the least rewarding. I think there's still a lot of good airdrops coming, even if I'm not farming for the whole Eigenlayer thing. So I completely faded this one, also not farming for layer 0. I'm pretty bullish for all the interoperability protocols, for example. So in this case, Hyperlane, Jumper, Mayan Finance, or also for Milky Way, for example. They just received a 5 million seed round funding from Binance Labs and Polychain Capital. That's one where I'm farming heavily since the beginning, and of course also a few other ones. So there are definitely still a lot of good airdrops ahead of us. If you don't want to miss future videos on this topic when I release my next airdrop results in the beginning of June, you might just want to hit the subscribe button. Also, I release videos on a daily basis here on such topics. If you like today's one, hit the like button as well, and then we'll meet in the next one. See you then.